There's nothing at all educational about it unless your goal is to teach porn to our children.
The debate over banning books in schools continues. Amy Cherry has our lead story.
The St. Augustine Tea Party held a rally Saturday at Routes 1 and 312 in protest of what they consider to be sexually explicit materials in St. Johns County schools.
I'm here just as a citizen who really wants to see people do the right thing for our children so they are not indoctrinated in our schools.
We're standing up against the pornography that's in the St. Johns County School Board. They've approved quite a few titles that are absolutely atrocious.
The majority of the taxpayers are not happy.
We need to get these books out of the St. Johns County public schools.
Moms for Liberty has tried to get several of the books out.
We need to get the porn out of our schools.
It would blow your mind, the stuff that they allow inside the school. It's basically describing a porno in a book.
They're calling for 40 books to be removed, including
All Boys Aren't Blue, Felix Ever After, The Bluest Eyes, My Rainbow, critical race theory books, Me and White Supremacy, and White Privilege.
Pedro Menendez High School seniors Alice Hall and Jesse Miller watched the rally from their car. They told St. Augustine's local morning news they're not being given anything inappropriate at school.
Absolutely not. We're reading things that we need to be exposed to, but nothing improper, and it's not porn.
It's nothing that would be inappropriate for high school students, and I think it's kind of ridiculous that people are saying that, honestly.
There's always consent forms. It's all up to the parents. It's not up to the school what you're reading or not. They can't force you to read anything you don't want to read.
The girls tell us which books they're reading in school.
Classics, Catcher in the Rye, Bell Jar, we're reading Shakespeare, Death of a Salesman we're reading right now.
Nothing that would be inappropriate for 16, 17, 18-year-olds to read at all.
Protesters filed grievance forms with the sheriff's office. St. Augustine's local morning news reached out to Sheriff Hardwick's office for comment. With St. Augustine's local morning news, I'm Amy Cherry.
This local news is a service of your hometown Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. A St. Augustine woman faces drug trafficking charges.
Police say the investigation began in the fall of 2021 when she sold methamphetamines on multiple occasions to an undercover operative at her home on Catnack Road. About 6 months later, police found that the woman had methamphetamines and fentanyl in her vehicle during a traffic stop. She and her passengers were released at that time. The drug sales investigation led to a raid at the woman's home where police found meth, drug paraphernalia, and 2 semi-automatic handguns, which, as a convicted felon, she was not allowed to possess. One of the guns had an altered serial number. Last week, the woman was apprehended in Jacksonville on multiple St. Johns County arrest warrants. She is now facing 16 charges, including 13 felonies and 3 misdemeanors. The woman was transferred to the St. Johns County Jail, where she remained as of last Thursday on a $571,000 bond. For St. Augustine's local morning news, I'm Rich Petchke.
If you need to reach a county department with a comment or complaint, you can request help through the online PRIDE system. Code Enforcement Manager Roderick Potter tells Liz Ryan what PRIDE stands for.
Public Request Inquiry Data Exchange.
What does the PRIDE system allow St. Johns County residents to do?
Input complaints from their computer for violations that they may see around the county without actually having to call the office.
Roderick tells us about some of the most common complaints they receive.
Junk and trash, motor vehicles that have expired tags, boats and trailers not being stored properly, not meeting setbacks. We've been getting tons of complaints regarding short-term vacation rentals.
Not all violations fall under code enforcement, but the PRIDE system will send it along to the correct department.
You've got the environmental department. They look at whether there's trees that are being cut down without permits. The public works department, they look at things that deal with road conditions.
How about an abandoned sign in disrepair?
Of course, a sign in deteriorated condition, definitely call it in, or they could put it in PRIDE system themselves.
What about nuisance lighting?
Yes, for commercial properties that have lighting that causes a nuisance, or if the light bleeds over across the property lines, we can definitely address that situation.
Can you submit a request anonymously?
No, we must have a name and address of a complainant before we can act on it.
The PRIDE database can be found on the county website. For St. Augustine's local morning news, I'm Liz Ryan.
And now you're up to date with St. Augustine's local morning news. I'm Rich Carroll.